Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Gabby. Pretty much. You could have expected it. And I come to you guys with a new video. On the same day that I filmed my Aquatar video. Because I was feeling it, I'm feeling the makeup, I'm feeling the aesthetic. I'm super pale. I know. This is not what I look like on a daily basis, but hey, I'm gonna take it. My eyebrows, So I'm gonna film. Don't worry about that. You get it. So today, the book that we are discussing, or I'm discussing, are you watching the video for it? Is The Swedish Prince by Karina Halle. This book moved me, honestly. It's part of a series of standalones, so there are 3 books. The last book came out last Friday on the 21st, and let me tell you, I was up at 5 in the morning when that book hit Amazon, and I'm like, one click it. Wow. I'm a dedicated fan. Not gonna lie, I'm a dedicated fan. I will wake up early, go to the bookstore if I have to. I will wake up and go on Amazon. Dedication. This is dedication. So, we're discussing, like I said, The Swedish Prince, and this is a great, romantic, royally full series book. I don't know. So, we have, obviously, the prince, which is Victor. He is from Sweden. He is the crown prince. Now, he wasn't originally the crown prince. That was his brother, Alexander. Victor was in the military. He went to college. He's a very well-rounded boy. But his brother died, and with that died his dreams of a low-key life, and now he's the crown prince. So we met him going to meetings and all this stuff, and he's just like having anxiety and panic attacks, and he is not having it. And I can feel it. Like, if I had to, out of nowhere, be a princess, I'll be like, what am I doing? Am I doing something good? Am I doing it good? I don't know. And then we have the love interest, an American girl, no royalty, no nothing. She comes from a really small town in California, Maggie. Maggie is the oldest of, I believe, 6 kids. I'm thinking, yeah, 6 kids. And her parents were, traditional, really hardworking people. Her mom was a maid at a local hotel, and her dad was a prison guard. She has other siblings, and the moment that she was 18, she fled. She left to New York without looking back, and left all of her siblings behind. One night, she's out with her friend Sam, and they're just like having fun, or not really having fun. They're just sitting down in a bar talking. When one of her sisters calls her, and she's like, "Mom and Dad are dead." That leaves her to be the legal guardian at only 21, I think. 21, 22. So she flies back to California and tries to, make it. We meet, the way that the book starts is just kind of like, it's divided in 2 parts. So she goes back to California, we see them a year later, what happens and all that. So, the second eldest kid is taking care of, the kids, helping her, and all that, because it is needed, honestly. You have teenagers, you have 7-year-old who is insane, and you are going to need all the help that you can get. It's unusual. So she starts working at the hotel that her mom used to work at. She's now a maid, and that's really how shit goes down. So that's Maggie's side. Over on Victor's side, he starts getting a lot of panic attacks, a lot of anxiety, he cannot sleep and all that, and essentially his mom is concerned that bad things are going to happen, like they happened to his brother. So they call in the doctor, and the doctor is like, he needs to relax, so he is sent to the United States for a week, for 4 weeks, and he could just do whatever he wants, and he just, he arrives in New York, and he's having fun, and he's like, trying to calm before he has to go back to Sweden and become the prince the crown prince that he needs to be. So the point where they both meet. Maggie goes and she arrives late at her job, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" So she grabs her stuff, starts cleaning rooms. There's one room who had the do not disturb sign. She went inside because nobody answered, so she went inside. She's like looking around, looking how bad and messy it is, and she's like, "Okay." Out of nowhere, this guy comes out of the bathroom, butt naked, no water coming. He was just butt naked. I can just picture that in my mind so clearly. Like, she just goes like, "Oh my gosh, shit, okay, there's a naked guy." It's so hilarious in my opinion. So he gets like scared, they both get scared, and she just bolts out of there. She ignores it. So that night she goes out with her mom's best friend, because what do? You go out with your mom's best friend. I mean, I do it, I guess. It's not that unusual. But she's like my mom. So they're out in this little bar, and they're having a drink, and, you know, they're getting their girl talk on, and Maggie proceeded to tell her what happened with the guy, and all of a sudden, in comes the guy. Actually, no, they arrived at the bar, and the guy was already there. He was sitting at the bar, sleeping, like this, sleeping, and the bartender was like, "I'm gonna call the cops," because he's huge. Apparently, the exact height is like 6'5" or 6, something like that. He's really tall in the book. I wouldn't know. I never met him. He's a fictional character. Let's just take a moment, because fictional characters will always have an amazing place in my heart. You know what? I want one like that. Amazing. You know, sweet. So Maggie goes out of her way. She takes him to her house, and they lay him down on her parents' bed. And all of a sudden, we have the eldest brother going like, "Who's that?" And they're like, "Oh my god, we're busted," because her mom's friend, and like they both took him to her house, and they were like, "Okay, we're busted. Great, this is him." They don't know what his name is, and obviously his license is in Swedish, and it says Korkorts very something like that, very Swedish. And basically that is driver's license, and like below it says the name, I think it's Johan or something. So you get my role. The next morning, he wakes up like, what's going on? She's there, and you know, everybody, and then all of a sudden she goes in to see him. He wakes up, all of a sudden all her siblings are there except for one, April, which she's a classic rebellious teenager, sleeping with people who she shouldn't be, and she's 14. That's the kicker. That is the kicker. She's only 14. I can't. What was I doing at 14? I was going to school. I was having a major mental breakdown, and I started reading. That's what I did at 14. Yep. Wow. Anyway, so they're all there, and it's just like, who's that? Ooh, who's that? You know, traditional kids are like, ooh, who's that? New person? Oh my god. Hey. And Maggie was like, control. So her brother takes them all out and starts having a talk with Victor. So they just, walk out the door. She wants to take him to the hotel. But, oh, hi, April never made it home. So they go in search of April before they even take him to the hotel. And, oh, lo and behold, they find her on a drug dealer's house. Because apparently that's her boyfriend. He's like 19 or something. Listen, I'm all for a man that fights. Victor kicked the shit out of his ass. Her sister was mad. They were both mad. And they went into the car. The tension was real in there. And he was just like, cool. They went back to the house. She fixed him up. Out his way. You know. They start sort of dating, getting to know each other. He spends time with the kids. The kids start to like him because he's a really funny guy. He's really funny. So, at one point, they even go to Disneyland. Okay? Disneyland. I've never gone to Disneyland. I have gone to Disney World twice. But I imagine it would be fun if you have a really hot Swedish guy beside you to be like, let's go. Just imagine. Just imagine that would happen. So, his name as a kid, like they will call him Moose. As a baby, like he looked like a moose apparently. That's the whole joke of it. And he gets her a Sven, you know, from the movie Frozen. He takes up the tag and he's like, here. The moose. There you go. It's me. Isn't me. I love the scene where she finds out who he really is. She's talking with her friend Sam, and I think Maggie sends her a picture or something like that, and she's like, oh my god, that's the Crown Prince Victor from Sweden, and she's like, no it's not, and Sam is like, yes that is, oh but he is. So Maggie was so in journalism, I feel like this is a big part. Essentially, they went on a date, and she was interviewing him, but on the sly, you know, like, oh really, so where you come from? Oh, is your family, like, royal? Huh? Is your family royal? You can tell me, I'm not gonna say anything, and then a couple hours later, like, print! I got money! He gives her the okay, if she agrees to spend some time with him, and they do, and that's when they go to Disney, and all that stuff, and that's the cutest. Now, it's time for Victor to go home. I cried. I literally cried. He went back. Not before saying, I will be back for you. And he did. He came back for her, and I was like, God bless the man who says that, because God knows not everybody's gonna come back for you, honey. He comes back for, I think, a weekend or something. And then he proceeds to take her to Sweden. And while all the kids were finishing for, I think, winter break, after that, they will all go to Sweden and be like, party time, and we're in Sweden. I would love to go to Sweden, honestly. It looks so cool. This is where shit gets down. So, before the kids came back, before the kids went there, we got to meet Magnus, Victor's best friend, and the Crown Prince of Norway. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. And we also meet the King of Denmark, Axel. Listen, when those books come in, I'm going to reread them and I'm going to annotate the shit out of them, because, in specific, a Nordic king. Yes. Yes. Yes, please. I mean, he's hot in my mind. Actually, the author was like, what was his name? The guy from Michael Fassbender, I think. The guy from the movie Assassin's Creed. That's how she kind of pictured him. I'm like, I can see it. I can see it. I ain't mad about that. I ain't mad about that at all. Ooh, girl. So now back to Victor and Maggie. They go out and all that. His parents are not too keen on it. They're like, oh, okay. Oh. And obviously that brings a lot of tension between them. And, oof. Oof. That, yeah. That's not, So when shit hits a fan is when they're all going out, I think they're going out. I can't remember exactly what happened and why they went out. But they were all out, and the paparazzi started, to harass them, and Maggie was trying to, like, rein the kids in. Victor was just like, oh my god, he's trying to help. And a paparazzi hit, I think it was April. And after that, they had a big fight the day he was going to propose to her, and that was what killed me the most. And she's like, I can't be here. I can't. He asked, it was so sweet, because he asked all of her siblings if he could marry her, and they were like, yes! Even April, who started to have a better relationship with Maggie, was like, yep, here's a ring, go. I'm gonna kick you and go. And the night that he was gonna propose, she left with all the kids, and I was like, listen here, Maggie. Couldn't you have stayed a moment? But I think it worked out for the best. So they went all back, and she was like sad and depressed, and the kids were like, oh my god, we're not in Sweden anymore. It was fun. I think Callum is his name, the youngest, had an obsession with, I think, ABBA, and whenever he would be there, he would sing ABBA. And there's a character from, I think it's Sesame Street, like, he's Swedish, and he's like a cook, and he goes like, bork, bork, I think. Something like that, and Callum loved to say that, and it was just so funny. So, at one point, Maggie is thinking of all her decisions, and she's like, oh my god, I love Victor, what am I doing here? Why? She just jet sets over to Sweden, and guess who jets to California? Victor. So, it's hilarious in my opinion, because they both had the same thought, but the execution was just wrong. Which made me laugh a lot. I was like, oh my god, wait, you're not... Literally, I was reading. I think Maggie was the first one to say, okay, yeah, I'm going back to Sweden. And I'm like, okay, yay! Yay! Finally! About time, honey. And then when Victor was like, I'm flying to California, I'm like, bitch, just stay in Sweden for like a couple more days. Just chill. Stay there. No. When Victor goes back to California, he finds Pike, which is the second eldest brother, like the second. And he's like, where's Maggie? And Pike was like, dude, she's in Sweden. Basically, you both have the same thought. The execution just was a little bit off. And he just laughs and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go back. He calls the chef or assistant, I don't know. He's like, can you just hold her, like stop her from going? He flies back to Sweden, and I'm like, wow, your jet lag is gonna be insane! Yay! He's like, okay, let's push through it. Let's get physical. No, okay, we're good. And Maggie is like, okay, because the guy is dancing, and he's out of breath, and she's like, what's going on? Boom! Victor arrives, and I'm like, thank the Lord. And he asks his driver to write in the snow, will you marry me? And when he arrives inside, he's like, hello, they kiss. It's like a really cute scene. And then he's like, come on, and he shows her where it's supposed to say, will you marry me? It said, will you marry me? And I was dying. Hysterical laughter. Because, oh my god, it was hilarious. And they're like, yes, and oh my god, yes. And then the king and the queen come in, and I'm like, this is gonna go down a little bit too fast. He's gonna abdicate. I'm thinking all of these thoughts, and in the end they were like, okay, sure, it's a wedding, yay. And I'm like, okay, that took nothing. Because the king really saw who Maggie was as a person. That she was a great, person who thought of others, and he had a talk with her, and I was just like crying because I'm like, oh my god, yes, 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 happily ever after. But we're not yet done. We got the epilogue to talk about. That epilogue was hilarious. At the beginning, it seemed like she was kidnapped, and I'm like, are you kidding me, Karina? Please chill, woman. But she wasn't kidnapped. Basically, it's like a training that they do just in case she gets kidnapped or whatever, so she can kind of know how to, work out the situation. And she was all like dirty and disgusting and whatever. And when she goes back to the castle, he's waiting on her with like a cake. And when he looks at her, he's like, what the? That was not part of the plan. And I was just dying. And then the queen was taking the girls out to get dresses for a ball to introduce Maggie as the next queen. And I'm like, yes, I'm all here for it. Yes, please. Can we just get up on that? And it was a sweet epilogue. I was like, this book killed me. I gave it, as a rating, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was wonderful. Karina has a really amazing way of writing. She has a way of telling a story that it's very vivid, and you literally feel like you are there with the characters or in the place that she's talking about. She's very eloquent in her words, and I love that. And it's very easy to understand. Her books is not like super eloquent, like crazy words that you're like, what does that mean? No, some words you do kind of have to like, okay, what's that? But not really that much, and I loved it. That book was really amazing, and it was the perfect beginning for the series, I think. It was just such a sweet book, such a sweet story. I think the craziest story out of all of them was Magnus, which is the second book, which is The Wild Heir. I was laughing. In The Swedish Prince, you could really just feel it. But I was talking about the writing. But yeah, she has a way of, putting everything into words so you can literally picture and feel like you're there. She went to Sweden, for that matter. She went to Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. So she did her research. And every single book that she writes, she likes to put foreign countries. I read one that was the play, and they went to Scotland. And the way that she wrote it, it literally, you felt like you were there. And I think that is something that not every author has, but definitely for me, Karina has it. She writes such amazing stories, and you're like, you're holding on for dear life, and you're like, no, I don't want it to end. I was so excited and kind of like when Nordic King came out, because I was like, I don't want it to end. I have been waiting for that book forever. I think the last release she did was either March or April, and that's The Wild Heir, and we finally got the end of the series, and I was like, not having it. I was not having it. I couldn't. That book killed my soul. Like, if the first 2 books killed my soul, this one just completely obliterated it. It's just goodbye. There's no more soul. No more nothing. It's just a void. It filled a void. And that's why I had to get them on paperback, because I needed them displayed. And I'm just gonna put a little like disclaimer. This book kills you. Just saying. Characters are on point. I really love them. I think Maggie and Victor was such a funny couple in a way, like how they started, that she just thought he was just a normal Swedish guy, rich Swedish guy, and oof, you were so far out of the point. But I think it was great, honestly. I really liked it. In my opinion, it was just such a great book, and I would love to just experience it for the first time again. Sometimes you read books that are really amazing, and you're like, I just want to experience them for the first time again, but you cannot do that. But every time you read it, you find something else, and you find a little scene that you love, and you're like, oh, I don't remember this, but you're my new favorite scene. And then you read it again, and you're like, oh, I did not see you there. Or you read it with a different mindset, and you discover other things. I just think books are amazing, and books are meant to be reread, in my opinion. Not all of them. I will never reread a couple of these books, but you know what? For my next video, I should probably do like books that I dislike strongly. I think that could be cool. Anyways, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you really do try and read these books because they're amazing. I do have a warning. They do have mature content, so if you're a younger audience, I would suggest waiting. Or if you are, if you read fan fiction from Wattpad. Yeah, I mean, Wattpad is pretty insane. I used to read on Wattpad, it would be so insane. Fan fiction, fan fiction, man. Those women are crazy, but hey, it works. I mean, look at Anna Todd. She wrote books. Like, she has books published because of fan fiction. 50 Shades of Grey was a fan fiction, so hey, write some fan fiction. Who knows, maybe it'll get published. Okay. Now it's really the end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. I really want to grow my channel because, I don't know, this is something that I've been thinking about for a really long time, and originally I wanted to do like makeup tutorials, but I'm like, I'm not that great at makeup, so we need to find something that I'm good at, and that is reading, and I hope you guys just give me a chance, and yeah. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm really excited. This is my third film video, and I'm like, yay. I cannot wait to see at least 5 views on one video. Like, I don't care if they're 5. I'm gonna be excited, or people start liking, or disliking. You know what? I don't care. You saw my video. I'm honestly kind of giddy about this. My cousin was laughing. She's like, girl. She was just laughing. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!